All right, well, call this meeting to order and ask if you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Somebody reversed my flags on me back here. They're switching the flags out on me. Okay, old business, consideration of the minutes. Having reviewed the minutes, do you have a motion you'd like to make?
I'll motion to approve the minutes for May 13th through May 17th, 2024.
Second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Beer, wine, and liquor under new business. We do have a few this time. St. Joe Tastery, doing business as St. Joe Tastery. And the Idaho Snake Farm, doing business as the Snake Pit. Okay, any discussion or questions on those?
No.
Okay, we have no cancellations, homeowners cancellations today. We do have a contract with the Forest Service renewal. This is just a renewal of an old contract, except they did upgrade the terms. I'll thank you, Randy, again publicly for doing the research to help us find out that, in fact, we could be getting more money. Again, this is what they would pay if there's a fire. And so they did raise the amount from $1,500 to $250,000 over 5 years. They preferred to do a 5-year contract and make that an aggregate. So they could spend up to $250,000 in 5 years. And they changed it from $100 a day to $600 a day. Those are the main changes.
I read that. That's good. You guys did a great job. I appreciate it.
Well, he did the research.
Yep.
So when the guy said, I don't think we could pay that much, and then he pulled up another airport near us that I had mentioned, we did our research, and he said, oh, well, that's what they're getting paid, so I guess we'll pay you that much. So
that's good.
That worked well. Now, of course, we don't want any fires, but
no.
If we get one, we'd make more money. Okay, no further discussion on that one?
Nope.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated.
So moved.
Okay, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, public comment. We'll start right over here. John?
Okay, John Hanson, public comment. On May 2nd, you approved $2,500 for the building of a shed out back, I believe, for the equipment. And you had $1,700 for materials and $900 for labor. And my assumption was, when I saw it, was that Randy was going to build this shed. I'm assuming that's correct?
That was my assumption.
So you allowed $900 for labor. So that would be $900 for Randy to build the shed, who was already a county employee, being paid by county funds to build that shed, plus another $900. Correct?
No.
Or am I wrong?
Well, I don't know. I thought that was for electrical.
No, it said in the meeting it was for labor for Randy, labor to build the shed.
No, it wouldn't be extra labor because you can't do that.
Why did you approve $900 for labor if it's not for labor?
I understood we were paying for electrical. So
okay, well,
I'll need to look into it.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
And I look into them, and they're not there. And also, what about a building permit? I'm sure that we are not exempt, or you are not exempt from getting a building permit, which I don't believe there was one for upstairs when you built the rooms upstairs.
No, but he checked and asked if we needed one.
Yeah, I checked with Dan.
No, well, every place that I've checked with municipal businesses, counties, sheriffs, whatever, has to have a building permit if they do any building. It doesn't matter where it's at. Osborne, for instance, had to get a building permit to redo their fire hall. So that's something that's interesting.
Well, I'll follow up with it.
The other question I have is your outside audit, which again, I've not heard anything on the audit other than what Commissioner Zimmerman was saying, that they're waiting for something
They're waiting
from
for
the budget this time to look at what happened 3 years ago on the budget. Why does this budget in 2023-24 have to do with the one in 2021?
You know, what it was the last fiscal budget that you guys passed in your term is the one that they're looking at, and the one before. So that's where the money, where we have a deficit between that budget and our new budget. There was a deficit between, we had to fund $1.7 million in cash. We took it from Maverick in order to even fund the budget. Plus we had to raise taxes. Plus we had to pay off debt. So what they're doing is they're waiting for Tony to finish the audit here. If we would have had them come in and actually do an audit, it would have cost us between $50,000 and $100,000. They did the same audit for the Garden City, and they had the same problem where they may have overestimated their income. So instead of going through and doing a complete audit on us, Tony is auditing us like he does every year. He'll get the audited financial statements that he presents to the board and signs off on them, and then that's what they're going to use to complete their audit. And it should be by this month. But you know, we've had a clerk turnover, we've had an auditor turnover, so it's been difficult for Tony to actually complete his audit this year. So that's what they're waiting on, and the public will be completely notified, and we'll post his audit online so that everybody knows. So I mean, there's nothing we can do about it until they're done. We're trying to wait to see how we're going to have to figure out this year's budget.
Well,
we're going to have to cut.
I understand that, but I still am misunderstanding how this budget here affects that one. So, okay, and my other question on that is, do you have a cost of it so far, what you spent on this outside budget?
It was was it 10,000, not over 10,000. It was
we set a limit.
We set a limit. I think it was like 10,000. So that's why they're going off the other budget, or off of the other audit, is so they're not having to go through and do a complete audit. That would have been really expensive.
I thought that was the main idea, was to find out where you said that we overspent.
It wasn't overspent.
That's what you
It's the income. What they're looking at is income may have been over exaggerated. So if you have over exaggerated income, you do have, you're going to actually spend the money because you think you have it, and that's all it's about.
Which actually brings up one more point that I was going to make, and that's on this Forest Service bill money. Hypothetically, you'll get it if there's fires, but you can't count it. That's like gravy.
That's exactly right. We're not
so
budgeting.
It's the same thing you're just talking about right now, overspending. You could say you got it and you spend it, it's not going to be there.
Yeah, well, we're not putting it in the budget. It's not going to be a budgeted. We're not going to count on $50,000. We're not even going to count on, I don't know what they counted on them before, but that's something that you can't put in the budget and forecast, because that's not.
Okay, the $20,000 to the railroad company for our down payment on the property.
We're still in between conversations with the railroad right now. The railroad, I just heard back from the guy, and he's going to look into it. That Aaron Galley. So that's, at this point, it's up to them on how much they're going to give us, or if they're going to give us any at all. So we're waiting for his decision, and then when I get his decision, I'll contact legal and we'll see what he thinks. But
coming up on your 2 minutes, John.
Okay, the last one I have is because I'm standing here, we're looking at the camera so you can hear me. Anybody in that corner, this corner, if they speak, you can't hear their questions. And it's really difficult for people that watch these, and there are a lot of them, when somebody asks a question and it's going, what do you do about it? And it's gone.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Last one. Do you have any property in Shoshone County yet?
It's nobody's business.
But yet
I
you
could
still get away.
I don't personally have any, but that doesn't mean I don't have interest. So I'm not.
That's true, but
not
you still
gonna
get paid. Correct?
Well, you don't know what I pay.
Correct.
It's none of your business what I pay, is it?
But you don't own any property in
Okay,
Shoshone
John.
County.
John, this
we're
isn't
a yes or no answer.
Yeah, and he's already
I already
given you his
answered you.
answer.
Thank you.
But thank you for your questions. Jay? Anything?
No, I'm just ready for the next meeting.
You're early for the next meeting.
I have no comment.
Randy, any comments?
No, other than the fact that I'm glad that we negotiated that with the Forest Service. We had been in the wrong contract for a long time, and so I think it's going to help possibly in the future if something does happen out there. So,
Well, we don't want fires, but if we got them, at least we'll get some income.
that's true.
So,
We have the airport hangar going up. They're pouring concrete on the flooring in there right now for it. I've got 3 other people that have shown interest this last week that they want to come in here, and a guy from Florida wants to build 2 or 3 hangars out there. And it's just a matter of
where?
Where, yeah.
where.
Okay,
That's all I have.
thank you. Bruce, do you have any public comments or all ambulance? Got anything?
Refresher, how's that?
Refresher?
They'll be able to hear me from over here.
Thank you.
They can always hear Bruce.
October of last year, the van, public service van, I guess you would call it, for the airport, blew a serpentine belt in the air conditioning pump. We still have it in the Osborne shop. I'd like to know the intent, if we're gonna auction it, fix it, or whatever. It's a Dodge Caravan, I think,
What color is it?
maroon.
Maroon.
Was that the one that we've had problems with the transmission? Do you
I
remember?
don't believe we have, but do you remember?
One of them
John?
we did.
I think that was the one that we replaced for the one that was had the car was having transmission or something.
Yeah.
But it's just a reminder that it is sitting in our yard down there, so
Good point.
I do not know what you guys want to do with it. At the time we ended up trailering it back down to the Osborne shop to be notified if it was going to be fixed or whatever. So I don't know if it was
We'll have to
forgotten or.
we'll have to look and to see if that's an option that we're going to fix it or not. I know we have another car out there that we've gotten running, but there is looks like there's 2 patrol cars that just showed up there as well.
Yes.
So when we get the more vehicles we get in there, then we can do a public auction instead of doing it just for one. So that'll get thrown in there if we decide we're gonna.
That motorcycle's in there too, for the sheriff's office.
Okay.
Okay. Any other public comment?
That's all I can think
Okay.
of for this.
Want to give us an update on what's happening up on the mountain pass that everybody's wondering about?
We rented 2 big excavators. We are in the process of pulling the slide down. We've got a geologist on site with us at all times, so he's kind of reading the mountain, so to speak. But we're a little less than halfway through the slide.
Okay. Good.
Running into room problems. We can't store what we hammered out, so we're having to haul it.
Okay.
We're hauling it, let's call it a half a mile one way down to a flat upriver. And Jessica and I have been trying to work with the Forest Service to try to get 30 feet extra. I'm dumping on the road right now, so we got it wide enough. We got 1 lane of the road open. We're stacking it 12, 15 feet high. But if I get 30 feet extra on the river side of the road, I can put all the rock right there. If there is a crusher, we can move it in and they can crush on site right there. But as everybody knows, it's a bull trout stream, and I got reminded of it 50 times yesterday. It's on our right of way, but yet it's undisturbed, so the Forest Service is dragging their feet. I don't know which way they're going to go for the 30 feet. So right now it's a problem with the Forest Service is the only thing holding us up. If we had the room, we could go great guns and.
All right. So they've slowed down the operation. You're at almost a
No.
stalemate, or no?
They have not. I've not let them slow us down, but
We're
there's
picking it
2
up
factors.
twice.
There's 2 factors we're dealing with them. The pit just above that, up above Champion Creek that we always haul out of, it's almost depleted. I've asked to have it extended or find a new one. No answers there. The rock situation, if we can keep the weather from raining all day long, I think in 2 weeks' time we could have the road safely open. It's just trying to get everything moved, and we can't get up there today because it rained so hard that it's all mud and everything's slipping and sliding. We don't want the hose up there to
Right.
slide down. So we're averaging. We ended up getting a hammer on a 340 cat excavator. We're averaging 300 to 500 yards estimated a day that we're breaking, and then loading it out and then trucking it down the road. So we're busy. We got the road itself from the slide to Wallace is pretty good shape. We've got everything bladed. We're rock raking it, trying to keep it in good shape even from our traffic. I sent 3 guys over on the Avery side. They've been doing the rail grade, trying to get everything set up for the long weekend. Again, the rain stopped us, so
Yeah.
if we can have tomorrow, we'll probably get the rail grade at least to Loop Creek done, so they won't have big potholes and stuff. And been getting a lot of slack from Lookout.
No,
A lot of slack on my phone from the public. They just don't understand how big these rocks are. We chipped the first 3 days. We've chipped over 1,500 yards of rock with the hammer. We're talking 2 foot or bigger rock.
Yeah.
So it's just huge rock.
Mm.
I saw those. There's about the size of a car.
There's one rock I'm standing by that was, the flat side of it was laying on the road. It was 8 feet high, 15 feet across the road, and 10 feet deep. That alone was 3 dump truck loads.
Well, thanks, and be careful.
We're trying.
Okay.
One quick question on that. Are you having to remove more rock? I mean,
We intended on just trying to stay the width of the road, but it's been impossible because it's all interlocked.
Okay.
It's
So
all-
some of it has to come down
What's
still.
the blessing is it's not all round rock, it's all flat.
Yeah.
So we're able to slide it off of the other rocks, but we gotta go up the hill and work down to get to the road because it's all interlocked together.
All right.
Okay. And before we go into executive session, John, you did bring up a question about did we pay for labor for the shed? I'm going to go look at that because that doesn't make sense with what I thought we did. So I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay. And the video audio, we're aware it's now just more money for more microphones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you and my wife have let me know
Okay.
that you're not the only one that has trouble with hearing that corner. All right, at this time, we need to go into executive session, so I'd entertain a motion to do so as per Idaho Code 74206D for consideration of indigent case.
So moved.
Seconded, roll call.
Commissioner Gross?
Yes.
Commissioner Zimmerman?
Here.
All right.